has been that for so long, Trump was considered just not PC, but he has now brought hundreds of thousands of people who aren't PC, who have felt marginalized, who have had these feelings about immigration, about gender, about equality, and they are now in the mainstream, and they're thinking, I finally have someone that is saying what I believe.
He's the Reddit candidate. Trump is the Reddit candidate. He's like the internet troll, like what you read in the darkest parts of the internet, those kind of commenters. That's what Trump is.
If you took a gauge of this country, and Sarah Palin, that's what she even brought it up in her speech yesterday. She's like, people are so tired. Our country is so exhausted with being politically correct. And finally, yes, some of the stuff he says might be inflammatory, but people are tired of a PC culture where you feel like you can't say.
But here's the thing. People are thinking that we're in a very sensitive time right now in this country, and I think the internet has a lot to do with that, because if you say one thing or anything is perceived as wrong or mistake or offensive, Twitter is the first, it's trending within minutes, the first to jump on it. And I think that because Trump is so bold in his hate and kind of not worried about the internet or what people think, it is refreshing in that way. I also feel like if he eventually does get the nomination and runs against Bernie, we are in trouble. I think the only way is, if he wins, is if Hillary also wins.
But you know what? His constituency is not suffering from the Twitter world attacking them. So what do they care about PC?
But that's my point. Hold on, that's my point that I'm making, is that those people aren't on Twitter. They don't care about Twitter. But I'm saying we're talking about this PC society.
So he's mouthing what they really believe.
Absolutely.
I think it's symbolic. It's not.
I think the internet is the cause for all of our problems. You know that secretly. I really do.
Hold that thought. We'll come right back with more hot topics, because this conversation is going to keep going. So before we get into this, I have to ask somebody to explain what Reddit is.
Reddit is a website where people can post whatever they want. So it can be links to the news or things like that. But there are things called subreddits, which get into very dark, like awful, dirty, really sad places. So
It's like a Reddit within a Reddit.
It's like the classified ads almost, but online.
That's more Craigslist. Reddit is more of just a place where you can literally talk about anything, and that includes terrible things.
Well, this is not so terrible, but Reddit users confess that the most shallow reasons that they dumped a person are, like, one woman admitted she didn't like her boyfriend's new haircut, so she dumped him. And one guy said it was over once he found out that his girlfriend's glasses had no prescription.
What's funny?
That is
I
weird.
hear that, actually.
That's
I think
weird.
people do that.
She had a lens that had no prescription. I don't know. I didn't ask.
So she was faking.
I guess she was faking.
I don't know if it's so much that people are shallow, and my mom had to have a conversation with me. I was so picky. And then I remember this in high school. I only had like 3 boyfriends, and then I ended up marrying my college, my husband and I dated in college. But my mom got in my face, and she's like, you know what, you're not perfect, so stop expecting perfection out of somebody else. Because I would nitpick, and I would find stupid little things, and it would annoy me that I was so picky.
Well, I think there are things, nitpicking is one thing, but then there are like problems. I dated a guy once who like got very fit while we were dating, and then he would constantly show his abs off in public places, and it was like nice, but then we'd be in like a fancy restaurant, and I was like, no, like that. It was like too much, and also I don't have abs, so I felt bad. And then another guy, this is a first date thing, but it's kind of funny, who told me, very first thing he said, he goes, I just want you to know, I gambled away my aunt's savings. I was like, all right, can you afford this drink? Gotta run. Bye.